Life moves faster than we think. One day you're chasing dreams, raising kids, working hard, and in what feels like a blink, decades have passed. You remember the times when you were always in a rush, getting to work on time, paying bills, making sure everyone else was taken care of. You were so focused on building a life that you didn't always have the time to stop and truly live it. Many seniors look back and realize there are things they wish they had known sooner, choices they would have made differently, words they wish they had spoken or never left unsaid. Sometimes it's not the big dramatic events that leave the deepest marks, but the quiet moments we missed, the opportunities we let pass because we thought we had more time. And then one day you find yourself reflecting, wondering, if only someone had told me this earlier, maybe I would have lived a little differently. Today, let's talk about those moments, the mistakes many seniors regret too late, and the lessons they want you to know while there's still time. Because no matter your age, it's never too late to start living in a way your future self will thank you for. Number 1, neglecting health. One of the biggest regrets? Not taking health seriously early on. Many seniors admit that in their younger years, health felt like something they could take for granted. When you're in your 30s or 40s, you can bounce back from a late night, an unhealthy meal, or skipping the gym without feeling much consequence. But as time passes, the effects of those small choices begin to add up. The habits you set when you're younger quietly shape the kind of body and mind you'll have later in life. It's not just about eating well or exercising, it's about listening to your body. Many people remember pushing through fatigue, ignoring unusual symptoms, or assuming it's nothing when aches and pains appeared. Others skipped routine checkups because they felt fine or didn't want to take time off work. But the truth is, preventive care is far easier and far less painful than treating problems once they become serious. A quick doctor's visit or a simple test can sometimes be the difference between catching something early or facing a life-changing diagnosis. In the US, and where medical care can be expensive, some avoided seeing a doctor because of cost, thinking they were saving money. Sadly, the reality is that delaying care often leads to bigger bills and bigger health struggles later. Seniors often say they wish they had seen healthcare not as an expense, but as an investment in the years ahead. Even something as simple as regular dental visits, blood pressure checks, or eye exams could have spared them from challenges that now affect their daily life. The lesson they want to pass on is this: your future quality of life is built on the habits you have today. Staying active, eating balanced meals, getting enough sleep, and managing stress are not luxuries. They are the foundation for a vibrant, independent later life. You don't have to run marathons or follow extreme diets. Even small, consistent choices like daily walks, stretching, or cooking fresh meals can have a huge impact over time. And perhaps the most important piece of advice: don't wait until something hurts to start caring for yourself. Start now, wherever you are. Treat your body as if you'll need it for a long time, because you will. The people who look back with the least regret are the ones who made their health a priority before they had no choice. Number 2, not spending enough time with loved ones. Another common regret is not spending enough time with family and friends. When we are younger, it's easy to believe that there will always be more time, that we can work late today, skip the weekend visit, or postpone that phone call and still have plenty of opportunities later. But life has a way of moving quickly. Children grow up, parents age, and friends move away. Before you know it, those moments you thought you could make up for are gone. Work, responsibilities, and the rush of everyday life can push relationships to the side. In the US, where so many people live busy, independent lives, it's common for years to pass without seeing relatives who live in another state or even across town. Holidays and birthdays become the main occasions for gathering, but even those can be missed because of job demands, travel costs, or simply being too tired. The years that felt so full in the moment can later feel strangely empty when you realize you let connections fade. Many seniors say that, looking back, the most precious memories aren't about promotions, big purchases, or how many hours they worked. They're about everyday moments, sitting around the kitchen table laughing, taking a walk with a friend, watching the grandkids play, or enjoying a cup of coffee with someone who understands you. These are the small, seemingly ordinary moments that become priceless over time. The hard truth is, relationships require nurturing. Without intention, they can quietly drift apart. A simple call to check in, a handwritten note, or taking time to visit. These things matter more than we often realize. For seniors, the moments that bring the most warmth now are rarely about what they achieved, but about who they shared life with. They encourage younger generations to choose connection over busyness whenever possible. The lesson is simple. Don't wait for the right time to be with the people you love, because the right time is now. If you have the chance to visit, do it. If you can say, "I love you," say it. Make memories today that you can hold on to tomorrow. In the end, it's not the hours you spent working that will bring you comfort. It's the love you gave and received along the way. Number 3, postponing dreams and adventures. Many seniors admit they waited too long to do the things they truly wanted: travel, learn something new, or take a risk. In their younger years, they told themselves, "Someday, when the kids are grown, someday, when I retire, someday, when things settle down." But someday has a way of slipping through our fingers until it's replaced with the reality that our health, energy, or finances no longer allow us to chase those dreams in the same way. What once felt like a simple postponement can turn into a permanent regret. They kept saying someday until someday never came. Life in America often encourages productivity and stability, working long hours, saving money, planning responsibly. While those things are important, many seniors confess they became so focused on preparing for tomorrow that they forgot to actually live today. The vacation they wanted to take, the class they dreamed of joining, the book they wanted to write, all of it stayed on the back burner. Looking back, they realized that while responsibilities mattered, joy and adventure mattered just as much. The lesson they share is clear. Don't wait for the perfect time. It may never arrive. Perfect circumstances rarely exist. There will always be bills to pay, reasons to be cautious, or obstacles in the way. But those who dared to seize opportunities, whether it was a trip to Europe, starting a garden, or learning to play the piano, are the ones who now look back with stories instead of regrets. Their advice is not to throw caution to the wind, but to give yourself permission to live, even in small and meaningful ways. Even small steps can bring fulfillment. You don't have to travel across the world to experience adventure. For some, adventure might be exploring a new hiking trail nearby, taking a painting class, or volunteering in a way that pushes you outside your comfort zone. For others, it's reconnecting with old passions, dusting off the guitar in the closet, or finally finishing that scrapbook. What matters most is that you stop waiting for later and begin creating joy in the present. Because at the end of the day, the things you will treasure aren't the hours spent in traffic or the nights you stayed late at the office. They're the moments when you said yes to life. Seniors often say, "I wish I had lived more boldly, taken more chances, and allowed myself more joy." Their reminder to us is this: if something matters to your heart, don't wait. Start today, no matter how small the step. One day you'll be grateful you did. Number 4, not expressing feelings. Some regrets aren't about what we did, but what we didn't say. Seniors often share that the silence of unspoken words weighs heavier than the mistakes of words spoken in haste. Over the years, many held back from saying what truly mattered, whether it was telling a child how proud they were, apologizing to an old friend, or simply expressing gratitude to a spouse who stood by them through thick and thin. Time passes, and with it, the chance to speak those words fades. "I love you. I'm sorry. I'm proud of you." These simple phrases can change relationships, heal wounds, and strengthen bonds. Yet many people hesitate to say them because they assume their feelings are already understood or because pride gets in the way. Seniors often confess that they wish they had put aside fear or stubbornness sooner. Words left unspoken can create lifelong regrets, while words spoken with sincerity can bring peace, comfort, and connection. Life doesn't guarantee second chances for these words. One of the most common reflections among older adults is that they wish they had reached out more while they still had the chance. For some, loved ones passed away before they could say what was in their hearts. For others, distance and time made it harder to bridge old misunderstandings. In the quiet moments of reflection, many realize that relationships are fragile, and the window to express love and reconciliation can close without warning. If you feel them, say them. This is the advice seniors want to give. Don't assume tomorrow will come, and don't assume people know how you feel. A phone call, a letter, or even a short conversation can lift an incredible weight off your shoulders. Expressing love, gratitude, or forgiveness doesn't make you weaker. It makes you freer. And more often than not, the person hearing those words carries them for the rest of their life. You'll never regret expressing love and gratitude, but you might regret holding them back. Seniors want the younger generation to understand that relationships are built not just on actions, but also on words. The courage to speak from the heart is one of the greatest gifts you can give, both to yourself and to the people you love. It can turn ordinary days into meaningful memories, and it can ensure that, when you look back, your heart feels lighter instead of heavy with what-ifs. Number 5, too afraid of change. Fear keeps many people stuck in jobs they dislike, in routines that drain them, in relationships that no longer bring joy. For many seniors, this is one of the deepest regrets, realizing that they stayed in situations that didn't truly serve them, simply because change felt too uncertain or uncomfortable. Looking back, they often say that the years they spent holding on to what was safe were years they could have spent building something better. Looking back, many seniors wish they had embraced change earlier, even if it was scary. The truth is, the unknown can feel overwhelming, and it's natural to cling to what feels familiar. But familiarity doesn't always equal happiness. For example, some stayed in jobs they hated because the paycheck felt secure, only to find themselves burned out and unfulfilled. Others stayed in unhealthy relationships because they feared loneliness, only to realize later that peace and self-respect mattered more than the comfort of familiarity. Because the biggest risk isn't failing, it's never trying. Seniors often share that the moments when they finally took a leap, whether it was starting a new career, moving to a new city, or learning a new skill, were the times they felt most alive. Even when things didn't go perfectly, they rarely regretted trying. What they regretted most were the dreams they never dared to chase and the chances they never gave themselves. Change doesn't always have to mean something dramatic. Sometimes it's about making small adjustments, trying a new hobby, meeting new people, or simply choosing a different perspective. Over time, those small choices can lead to a completely different quality of life. Seniors encourage others to see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity to grow, to discover, and to experience life in ways you never imagined possible. Their message is clear. Don't let fear hold you back. The moments of courage, big or small, are the ones that shape a life with fewer regrets. If you feel the urge to make a change, listen to it. Even if the road is uncertain, the act of trying is often more rewarding than staying still. At the end of life, very few people wish they had played it safer. Most wish they had been braver. Number 6, placing too much value on material things. Many seniors admit that one of their regrets was placing too much value on material possessions. In earlier years, it was easy to believe that a bigger house, a nicer car, or the latest gadgets would bring lasting happiness. People worked long hours, sacrificed time with loved ones, and carried the stress of debt. all in pursuit of things that, in the end, did not matter as much as they once thought. Looking back, many realized that the chase for material wealth often came at the expense of deeper, more meaningful experiences. The culture in the United States often reinforces this mindset. Advertisements, social media, and even workplace competition create constant pressure to keep up. Having more is often seen as a sign of success, but seniors now reflect that true success was never in the size of the paycheck or the brand of clothes they wore. Instead, it was in the laughter around the dinner table, the memories made on simple vacations, or the joy of being with people they loved. Many say that possessions can be replaced, but time cannot. The things they once spent money on, new furniture, expensive electronics, fashionable clothes, are either long gone, outdated, or sitting in storage boxes. What lasts are the moments and relationships that money cannot buy. Some even wish they had saved more money for experiences, travel, hobbies, or helping their children and grandchildren, rather than spending so much on things that lost value over time. The lesson they want to pass down is this: don't confuse comfort with consumerism. Having enough is important. Security, a safe home, reliable transportation. But beyond that, more doesn't always mean better. In fact, many seniors find joy in downsizing, simplifying, and focusing on what truly matters. The less energy spent on accumulating things, the more energy can be invested in creating memories, nurturing health, and deepening connections. In the end, seniors often remind us that when your time comes, you can't take your possessions with you. The legacy you leave behind won't be measured in material wealth, but in the love you gave, the lives you touched, and the memories you created. That, they say, is the real treasure of life. Number 7, forgetting to live in the present moment. One of the most profound regrets many seniors carry is realizing how often they lived in the past or the future and forgot to truly be present. They remember worrying constantly about what might happen tomorrow or replaying mistakes from yesterday, all while missing the beauty of what was right in front of them. In hindsight, they realized that life was happening in those very moments they sometimes overlooked because their minds were elsewhere. Living in the present may sound simple, but for many it was the hardest thing to do. In the busy years of raising families, building careers, and trying to meet responsibilities, the focus was almost always on what's next. The next promotion, the next bill, the next goal. Seniors often confess that while they were busy preparing for life, they forgot to actually live it. Looking back, they realized that joy wasn't waiting in some future achievement. It was always available in the present, if only they had slowed down to notice. Some recall how they rushed through milestones instead of savoring them. Parents remember when their children were small, they were so focused on the sleepless nights, the mess, the stress, that they sometimes missed the wonder of those fleeting years. Others remember vacations where they spent more time taking pictures or worrying about the itinerary than actually enjoying the experience. The regret is not about what they did, but about how little attention they gave to the feelings, sounds, and beauty of the moment itself. The irony is that the present moment is all we truly have. The past is a memory, the future is a hope, but the present is real. Seniors now understand that the present moment is where life actually unfolds. The laughter of grandchildren, the warmth of the sun on your face, the comfort of a shared meal. Yet too often they were distracted by screens, by worries, or by the constant drive to do more. In those distractions, precious time quietly slipped away. Many also reflect on how fear and anxiety robbed them of joy in the present. They worried about whether they were making enough money, whether people liked them, or whether they were on the right path. But decades later, they realized that many of the things they worried about never even happened. Or if they did, they weren't as catastrophic as they once imagined. What mattered most were the moments of peace and joy that could have been savored if only they had been more present. Seniors often describe how learning to live in the present became a gift in their later years. They talk about finding joy in simple things: a walk around the neighborhood, a good conversation, the smell of morning coffee, or the sound of birds singing outside the window. These were always available, but for much of life, they were overlooked. Now they encourage others not to wait until old age to discover this truth. Life feels richer, fuller, and calmer when you allow yourself to experience the moment you're in. Technology and busyness make this even harder for younger generations today. Seniors notice how often people are glued to phones, rushing from one task to another, rarely pausing to breathe. They see themselves in that pattern because they once lived the same way, always too busy to pause. Their advice? Put the phone down. Look at the person in front of you. Feel the moment instead of trying to capture it for later, because later may never come, but the memory you carry inside will. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities or forgetting the past. It means balancing them with awareness. Seniors often say they wish they had taken more time to pause, to appreciate small victories, to truly listen when someone was speaking, or to watch a sunset without rushing off to the next task. Presence doesn't require grand gestures. It requires attention. And that attention turns ordinary days into extraordinary ones. The lesson is that presence is a form of gratitude. By being fully here, mind, body, and heart, you show appreciation for life itself. Seniors who practice presence now find that even mundane routines, like cooking a meal or folding laundry, become moments of calm and meaning. They want others to understand that happiness is not hidden in some faraway goal, but is often right here, waiting to be noticed. In the end, forgetting to live in the present moment is one of the regrets that stings the most. Because while possessions fade, achievements are forgotten, and years blur together, the moments when you were truly present are the ones that remain vivid forever. The advice from seniors is simple yet powerful. Slow down, breathe deeply, and pay attention. Life is happening right now. Don't miss it. So, what can we take from these lessons? Seniors who have lived through decades of choices and experiences remind us that life is not about chasing perfection or avoiding every mistake. It's about what we prioritize along the way. Cherish your health, because without it, every other goal becomes harder. Treasure your relationships, because in the end, it's the people beside you who give life its meaning. Don't wait for the perfect moment to follow your dreams. Make space for joy and adventure today. Speak the words your heart carries before the chance slips away. And never let fear of change keep you from becoming who you're meant to be. Life is too short for what-ifs, too short for regrets that echo in the silence of missed opportunities. But it's also long enough to make different choices starting now. Whether you are 60, 70, or even 90 years old, there is always time to choose love over silence, courage over fear, and presence over distraction. Each day is a new page, waiting for you to write something meaningful on it. And perhaps that is the greatest gift these reflections offer us, the reminder that it's not too late. It's never too late to start taking care of your body, to reconnect with family, to finally take that trip, to say I love you, or to make a brave change. As long as we're breathing, there is still time to live with intention. Because when we reach the later chapters of life, it's not about the years we've lived, but the life we've put into those years. The laughter, the love, the risks, the adventures, and the kindness we've shared. These are the things that truly remain. So take these lessons to heart. Live in a way that your future self will look back and say, I'm glad I chose courage. I'm glad I chose love. I'm glad I chose life.